Good morning. It is Saturday, September 20th, 2014. This is Jason Horak reporting on the ongoing adventures of the Dodge Daytona electric vehicle. We're headed up to Syracuse, New York today to visit the ChargeNY electric car show that they're holding at the Museum of Science and Technology. I've never been there, so I'm not really sure where I'm going, but hey, always an adventure. So, got the car all loaded up with the charge cord in the back, and various accessories and so forth, as well as a pavilion tent type of deal that I can put up just in case it rains, which it looks like it might, or if it's excessively sunny. So that'll be nice. I also have my flyers to hand out and so forth to people, and of course my little Nexus 7 tablet ready to go to show people the program, as well as all my pictures and stuff I have now on the tablet so that I don't have to take paper with me to show off the car. Anyway, there we go. Should be a fun day. I'm looking forward to it. Here we go. And just because I always forget, the mileage is 173,037 when I left the house. So it's 039 now as I get on the highway, but anyway, off to Syracuse we go. Alright, so here we are at our destination, the Museum of Science and Technology here in Syracuse, New York. And we're at 173,070, and according to my trip meter, about 32.3, which is really about 34.3, because I went about 2 miles before I remembered to turn the thing on. And I used a total of 58 amp hours. So we're on the charger now, pulling 40 amps from this convenient NEMO 14-50 adapter they have. And what's fun is that plugs into a J1772, but the J1772 only supports 30 amps. So, or at least this particular station. So I'm actually getting a quicker charge by plugging directly in. Yeah. So anyway, fun times. So here we are at the Museum of Science and Technology car show for electric vehicles. Daytona's looking pretty decent, despite her older paint job and dings and so forth. Had some fun conversations with folks here, and we're basically hiding over here in the shade. I'm actually in the section that I can give rides to people if they want to ride. In general, I've just been having fun showing the cars. So I'm going to do a little walk around, take a look at some of the cars out here.
What's coming down the pike for future development.
Chevy Volt. It's Leaf. Little Honda Fit. Looking very much like its gas counterpart. Oh, really? Another Honda Fit.
One of those things.
Hey, they're good, thanks.
All right.
Checking the old cart. Absolutely.
I'll meet you up front.
And then they have this big Frito-Lay truck they brought down, I think, from Rochester, I believe they were saying. So, big old giant electric truck. What was that for cool? You can see all the wiring up here in the front. I'm not sure if the camera's making it out, but it has a radiator. Smith. 100% powered by pretty cool to see a truck 100% powered by electricity. How fun is that? Alrighty then, so here we are on our return trip from Syracuse and attending the electric car show at the Museum of Science and Technology. We had a pretty good turnout. It was a lot of fun. Got a chance to take some people out for test drives and so forth. So, you know, or test rides technically. I didn't let them drive, but we had a lot of fun. Went up on the highway, burnt some rubber, you know, all that good stuff. And yeah, overall I think people had a lot of interesting questions and you know, showed a lot of interest in the car. I was the only one there with a do-it-yourself home-built car, but there were a lot of really good turnout for OEMs. There were a lot of Nissan Leafs, there was Toyota Priuses, a Honda Fit, there were actually two of those, a Tesla Model S showed up, as well as a Tesla Roadster, and they had a Smart EV, as well as a, one guy brought a Think City EV that he drove all the way here from south of Utica, so that was pretty impressive. And yeah, overall it was a really good turnout and had a lot of fun. So we're now on the return trip, and there seems to be a really strong headwind. I'm sure the camera's picking up lots of wind noise. So we're tooling along here on Route 81, and it's definitely fighting the car quite a lot. So that's always fun. Burning more amps due to that. So as far as the temperature goes on the motor, I was just checking out my little Soliton EV display and data logger program, and it was showing about 96 degrees Fahrenheit for the motor, which isn't too bad, but again, that is an outside case temperature as opposed to what it's doing inside the motor. And you know, as you can see, I keep the RPMs up about 4,000 RPMs or more if I can, when we're cruising along on the highway in fourth gear. So I'm trying to keep as much airflow going through that internal fan in the net gain warp 9 as possible, and that makes sure that it doesn't overheat and cause a problem. So anyway, that's what's going on today. We're going to go ahead and head back home and toss around the charger for probably a good 4 hours at least, maybe more, because we're going to be depleted quite close to empty. I'm looking at my amp meter here, and it's showing, let's see if we can get it to go here without running into any other cars. So 171 amp hours consumed out of the 180 amp hour pack. Now, I did charge when I was up there at the show for a bit. It wasn't a complete charge, it was just kind of a top, you know, putting a little amps in there while I had a chance. So I'm not really sure how accurate the gauge is based on that charge, but yeah, anyway, we're pushing her to our limits as always, and I guess we'll find out if I make it all the way home. Fun times. Alrighty then, so here we are back in the garage, and what I'm doing is I've got the clutch in, and I'm idling the motor at about 3,500 to 4,000 RPMs. Actually, I could tell exactly if I looked at my Soliton EV display at 3,600 RPM. And so what I'm doing is I want that motor to spin and get the heat away from the commutator, and try to, you know, bleed off the heat a little bit if I can. Now, I know the camera doesn't make out the numbers very well, so I will read them, but basically the motor temp is showing 159 degrees, 159.93 specifically, and again, that is the motor case temperature. So I'm hoping that that's a relatively accurate temperature. I'm not sure what a safe range is for one of these motors, but that is quite warm. The Soliton is not reporting temperature, or is it? No, Soliton's reporting 96 degrees. So, you know, after this long drive, the Soliton's fine, but the motor is definitely warm. So I'm pushing 160. And again, that's based on my calculation, so the actual temperature may be different than that. I don't really have a good way of measuring what the temperature is. So anyway, so that's what we're doing, and I'm just going to go ahead and let that slow down now and let it spin down normally to 0. So the ceramic bearings are doing quite well as far as the lack of resistance on the motor. As you can see, it goes for quite a long time as it slows down here, and once again, this is with the clutch pushed in so that there's no mechanical drag from the transmission. But anyway, overall, so it was a 33.2 mile trip according to the trip meter, and my total for today was 173,119. And as far as the amps, it's still spinning down, by the way, over there. So the total amp hours consumed as I pulled into the garage was 177.0 for today's adventure. And so again, that is including the charging that I did up there. I didn't reset the meter, so you know, it subtracted off, or added to this number and then subtracted off it again. So anyway, that is that. So it was a fun day. My finishing pack voltage was 186.9, and there we go. Take care and have a good one.